Welcome everyone to another episode of OfferVault News. I'm your host, Eddie Grand. As increased panic over the spread of the coronavirus dominates headlines around the globe, staying on top of each and every development can prove to be almost impossible. As you might recall, our main story last week featured several developments surrounding big tech's response to the global coronavirus panic. Well, now we've got another development concerning those publishers in our audience who rely on Facebook ads. Facebook is now banning ads selling medical face masks. Rob Leatherin, lead of the Trust and Integrity team for Facebook ads and business products, tweeted out the following recently. Update. We're banning ads and commerce listings selling medical face masks. We're monitoring COVID-19 closely and will make necessary updates to our policies if we see people trying to exploit this public health emergency. We'll start rolling out this change in the days ahead. While medical face masks have never represented a particularly sizable vertical for affiliates, it's still worth considering that this will impact those who've made the pivot to selling these masks while consumer fears are at a fever pitch and with no indication of such fears slowing down. Obviously, this new policy is set to impact Facebook's advertising platform and commerce listings, but can we expect to see similar policies to follow from the other tech giants? Are you one of the affiliates who have been promoting medical face masks through Facebook ads? Share your thoughts and experiences with us in the comment section below. The death of tracking cookies will fuel a resurgence in email newsletters. Publishers are still lamenting over and preparing for the loss of third-party tracking cookies. But it seems like that grieving process is beginning to progress into the acceptance stage. The question now is, how will publishers move on? Well, one way to do that is by going back to collecting first-party data through registration data, or in layman's terms, leveraging email newsletters. That's what's fueling rapid rise in newsletter products. It's to create that value exchange between the consumer and the company, and that value is the email address, said a publishing executive at DigiDay's Publishing Summit Europe this week. Publishers will get more sophisticated. Newsletters are now fairly blunt instruments. Publishers and the rest of the digital world are currently in a state of limbo as they wait for Google's market-leading Chrome browser to decide how to replace third-party cookies and whether they can effectively identify audiences in the open marketplace. This has forced some to think more strategically about how they can truly take ownership of the audiences they've amassed and drive more email registrations. News publishers are well positioned to spin up topical newsletters in a matter of weeks at a low cost. In fact, The Economist, The New York Times, and Quartz are all launching a coronavirus newsletter in the next few weeks. For subscription-led business models, newsletters have proven to aid subscriber retention. That's something that The Economist, with 1.6 million print and digital subscribers, is working hard to improve, said Remy Becker, Vice President of Product. Since the end of 2019, The Economist has launched 2 topic-specific newsletters on climate crisis and U.S. elections, respectively. These join 3 other general weekly and daily newsletters. Topical newsletters have a 20% higher open rate and twice the number of click-through rates compared with other newsletters. According to Becker, newsletters have actually overtaken Twitter in terms of a source of traffic, and newsletters offer multiple revenue streams. The Financial Times, for example, has 8 subscriber-only newsletters and dozens of others, which are used to gather first-party registration data that they monetize through native ad slots, which link to sponsored content on their website. According to Jessica Barrett, director of programmatic and commercial automation at the Financial Times, newsletters are seen as a separate revenue stream for the publisher. We're seeing a lot more readers tuned into newsletters. They are a big focus for us this year, she said on stage at Digiday's Publishing Summit Europe. We talk about contextual targeting and moving away from the audience targeting, as well as sponsored content. You can incorporate interesting native elements in a relevant contextual environment. Newsletters are a perfect example of that. She added that open rates are high because readers opt into the newsletters rather than the Financial Times signing them up automatically. Email newsletters will be used to help soften the blow when Google Chrome nixes third-party cookies. Although an abundance of newsletters is not a viable solution for all publishers, nor is it clear where the ceiling is for readers. And for all the talk of publishers striking more private marketplace deals and flexing contextual targeting options, these won't recoup the revenue lost from the death of tracking cookies. While larger publishers will be able to weather the storm, the distance between the haves and the have-nots will stretch even further. There will be a lot of blood on the floor from publishers, said a publishing executive, specifically of low-value entertainment content, people that don't have purpose, and especially arbitrage publishers. Are email newsletters the best way to deal with the inevitable loss of third-party cookies? What else can be done? Let us know your feedback in the comment section below, and don't forget to join the conversation in our OfferVault official Facebook group. Before you buy something online, chances are you refer to some type of review when making purchasing decisions. Nowadays, you can find a review for almost any kind of product online, which can be very helpful. But there's a growing problem with online reviews because it's becoming harder to decipher what's real and what's not. Driven by fake reviews, American consumers are wasting billions online. A new report just revealed that American consumers wasted $125 on average in 2019 due to inaccurate reviews. Now, if we extrapolate that across the entire adult population, that's $25 billion in U.S. consumer spending that's been wasted due to inaccurate or deceptive online reviews. That's a lot of money being wasted on bogus products. Interestingly enough, as consumers have become increasingly aware of the questionable veracity of online reviews, they still continue to heavily rely on them. The study, which used reviews from Trustpilot, was based on a survey of more than 6,000 adult internet users in the US, UK, and France in December 2019 and was carried out by UK-based research firm Canvas 8. Against the backdrop of a decline in trust towards brands and the media, the study found that 48% of the US consumers were relying more heavily on reviews today than they were 2 years ago. Also, according to the report, 89% of consumers globally and 90% in the US check reviews online before making a purchase. However, 49% of consumers also believe that too many companies are creating fake reviews online. These consumers worry that the fake reviews will lead them to waste money on poor products and services, hence the $125 figure. One of the most noteworthy findings from the study comes from people's reactions to 5-star rated businesses. Most of the people surveyed tend to dismiss 5-star reviews as a likely attempt at manipulation. Consumers are now less inclined to trust 5-star reviews unless they're accompanied by negative or partly critical reviews. 55% of survey respondents said they would prefer to buy a product with a large number of reviews and the average rating over a product with a small number and excellent rating. Also, 56% of respondents said they would consider a 5-star rated product or service, but do more research before committing, and 16% simply believe 5-star ratings are fake. Lastly, 67% of people surveyed in the study said they would rather buy from a company that seems to have made a small mistake and responded quickly, rather than one that has never made a mistake at all. Consumers are catching on. People know that if something is too good to be true, then it probably is. Nothing is ever perfect, so if your company or product has perfect reviews, then people aren't going to believe it. Most businesses, especially small businesses, want as many 5-star reviews as possible, and they also want to marginalize or delete unflattering reviews, but that can actually be hurting them because the increase in fake online reviews has caused a lack in trust in the credibility of 5-star reviews. Consumers want to see some mixed reviews to ensure that they're not being tricked. So here are the biggest takeaways for marketers. You should welcome critical reviews. If you do receive any negative or critical reviews, address them in a sincere and honest way that looks to resolve the issue or complaint. And make sure to focus on multiple relevant review sites as consumers seek validation to protect themselves against fraud. What sites do you go to when looking for online reviews? How much do you trust the reviews you read online? Is there anything that can be done to crack down on these fake online reviews? Share your thoughts, advice, and experiences below. For our main story this week, the FTC forces self-proclaimed marketing gurus to pay millions in fines. Guru. Chances are, if you've been in this industry long enough, you've come across at least a few. Well, at least a few of those who dub themselves as gurus. This week, we'll be taking a deep dive into recent FTC actions against such gurus, with hopes of telling a cautionary tale to those who are at risk of being duped by one of these so-called gurus, or to simply fire off warning shots to those who try to rip people off by selling them get-rich-quick strategies that don't even work. So newcomers beware and scammers watch out. The Federal Trade Commission just charged a group of affiliate marketers for promoting a fraudulent business coaching and investment scheme. And now they will have to surrender millions of dollars in assets to settle those charges. The scheme was known as My Online Business Education and lured in consumers with promises of business and investment coaching. According to the FTC, the defendants made millions of dollars in commissions by persuading thousands of consumers to pay as much as $60,000 for mentoring services. They fabricated false claims and misleading testimonials about how much money people could make. The defendants advertised on social media, YouTube, news websites, and at live events targeting teenagers, students, and older consumers. You know we love our guy, Andrew Smith, the director of the FTC's Bureau of Consumer Protection. Here's what he had to say. These so-called affiliates helped My Online Business Education swindle consumers out of millions of dollars by making outlandish and false earnings claims. Affiliates should take note that the FTC will hold you personally and financially accountable for false or unsubstantiated marketing claims. The defendants named in the case are Michael Janellis and Michael Williams, along with several corporate entities they control, as well as Stephen Bransfield, Gar Leong Chow, and Scott Zuckman and their companies. Most people who bought the My Online Business Education program were unable to recoup their costs, and many experienced crippling losses or mounting debt, according to the FTC. The FTC actually sued My Online Business Education and its main operators back in 2018, and its founder, Matthew Lloyd McPhee, recently settled the FTC charges against him. The defendants, as part of their efforts to recruit people to My Online Business Education, created their own branded programs and systems with names like .com Lifestyle, Entrepreneurs Club, and Rookie Profit System. The FTC further alleges that one set of defendants, led by Janellis and Williams, started another deceptive coaching scheme called My Econ Club after My Online Business Education was shut down. Janellis and Williams also performed credit card laundering by soliciting friends and family to act as owners and signers for shell companies they used to open merchant accounts. The settlement permanently bans each of the defendants from selling or marketing any business coaching program or money-making method as defined in the orders. The order against Chow requires a judgment amount of $3,350,000 to be paid in full to the FTC for potential consumer redress. The order against Janellis, Williams, and their companies imposes a monetary judgment of $31.6 million. But that will be suspended once defendants pay $760,000 and turn over personal items obtained from their participation in My Online Business Education. The order against Bransfield and his companies imposes a $4.7 million judgment that is suspended due to inability to pay, as Bransfield filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy in August 2019. The order against Zuckman includes a judgment of $1.8 million and requires Zuckman to pay $406,150 to the FTC, after which the remainder of the judgment will be suspended due to inability to pay. For each judgment that's suspended, the full judgment will become due immediately if the defendants are found to have misrepresented their financial conditions. Seems to me like the FTC came down harder on these self-proclaimed gurus than they do most robocallers. We should take what we can get, though. Those who have been around the block in this industry know that it is littered with predatory marketing being masqueraded as business coaching and get-rich-from-home schemes, all with the hopes of fleecing newcomers and taking their eye off real, actionable strategies to pursue, most of which require hard work and diligence, not money-making secrets that are bought and paid for. What do you guys think? Was this judgment fair? Also, do any of our viewers out there have any experiences with My Online Business Education or similar schemes? Let us know your thoughts and opinions in the comment section below. Join the community in our OfferVault official Facebook group. Make sure you never miss a new episode of OfferVault News by subscribing to our YouTube channel, liking our Facebook page, and turning on our post notifications. Feel free to contact us at tips@offervault.com. As always, I'm your host, Eddie Grand, and I'll see you next time.